Hey everyone, this is Rod. I hope you're doing well out there. Hey, I did want to do a video. This would be an interesting video because I want to do a video on leadership during the coronavirus situation. And the reason why I mentioned this, like I remember a couple of months ago, my wife wanted to go to the store. She wanted to go to Costco. She wanted to load up in groceries. This before it came really got serious in the U.S. This virus, and I was against it, but I didn't say anything to her. I didn't verbalize with her. I was against it, and she said things like, it's going to be really important to her because she just will feel good about it if she just has more groceries in the house and that kind of thing. So I did. I did. I agreed to it, and we went to the Costco, and we spent more money there than probably we've ever spent, and since I've ever been there, really. And so we loaded up, we brought stuff home, and she felt good about it. A month later, then all of a sudden, the coronavirus hits the states, and we got these issues. But you know what? One of the things I've noticed is that, I'm thinking about leadership within this period because people were kind of lost their cool for a little bit, fighting over toilet paper, that kind of thing. I didn't see that coming, and being disrespectful to people, uh, fighting with people, these kind of things, calling people names and doing all these kind of things. And I thought about it like, what kind of leader do we want to be in this situation? Because this coronavirus is not going to last, and but this is a time that we can be a leader. This is time we can be an example for our family. This kind of time we can make history, not only for ourselves but for the country. This kind of thing. This really is this is our moment. You know, I admit coronavirus affects me too. Like, I don't know anybody in my family that has the coronavirus per se, thank goodness. But I I am affected because I have family members in my family that have been laid off, that lost their jobs. That affects me personally. It's a big weight on my shoulders just to know that I have family members that don't have jobs, that lost their jobs. But some of you have the same weight. All of you do actually have the same weight. You know somebody that either lost their job or somebody has the virus or somebody who didn't survive the virus. So it's a big weight. So it's a little unnerving right now. But even more of a reason that, because it's not going to last, like I said. So and we know that, but even more of a reason that we just got to be a leader for our family. I have family members that call me and they're upset because when they go to the store, they see people acting kind of crazy and stuff. Not now, but before. And I tell them, you got to keep your cool. You've got to be a leader out there. You've got to walk your own path out there. I get that people are going a little crazy out there, but you keep your cool. You do what you need to do. You keep calm in the situation. I say that because we gotta set the example. We gotta set the example for our family members. I touch base as a leader in my family. I touch base with my family almost every day. I want to let them know everything's okay. Yeah, we're struggling, the country's struggling, the world's struggling, but you know what? We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this together as a family. We're gonna get through it together as a country. We're gonna get through it together as the world. So I touch base with them and I take that leadership role, just to kind of keep everybody calm and stuff like that. But I decide the type of leader that I want to be for my family. I don't want to be the type of leader that I'm in a grocery store and I'm fighting over toilet paper with somebody. I don't want my kids to see me or my family to see me in that way. I don't want to see my family see me panicking or disrespecting people just because I'm going through a hard time, just because I'm personally affected by it. I don't want to be that kind of leader. I want when my family looks back on this in 5 months, 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, I want them to look back and say, you know what? My dad was a leader. This is how he handled himself. This is the example he set for us, and this is the example I'm going to do. But I also pick my leaders too, like my leaders. I'm not going to follow somebody. We all have leaders. So I'm a leader for folks in my life, but I also have leaders in my life. And I pick and choose my leaders. And my leaders, I'm not going to follow, and I cannot follow a leader who's fighting over toilet paper in a grocery store and being disrespectful to people and not sharing with people and calling people names. Like, I can't follow that kind of person. I won't do it. So I have to pick the kind of leader I have. Like, even in my community and state that I live, I'm so proud of the leadership that we have because I see the mayor get up, and the mayor is doing talks about the virus, and he's working with 20 other people. He'll have 20 other people on stage, and he's having them speak as experts of what we're doing, and they're working together. You can see they're working together, and the governor's working with all the mayors, and the mayors are talking about the governor. I mean, it's an amazing thing to see that type of leadership. I can respect that. So that's why, so last week, me and my wife went to, this past weekend, went to the store. And when we went to the store, we wore masks and we also wore gloves. Now, it's uncomfortable to do, and probably like 30, 40% of people were doing it. at this time. I think it's going to pick up. But you know what? We did it because we respect our leaders. Our leaders saying this is what they want us to do in public is only not only for our safety, but for the safety of others. So yeah, we did it. It's uncomfortable, but yeah, we did it. So, and that's the point I want to make too, is that like the leaders I follow, they usually have a history. So like if you are with a leader and you've seen for the last 2 years you've been following this leader, and this leader has been, you know, a person who's sympathetic to other people, the person who insightful, a person who's looking towards the future, a person, all these things that you respect and admire. The person is transparent, these kind of things. Yeah, so when you get into a crisis, yeah, that's the person you follow. That's the person who's going to get you through this whole thing, because what you see is what you get. But if you see a leader like for the last 2 years, year, 6 months, whatever it's been, and this person is not transparent, this person is not really thinking about people, this person is not trustworthy, you feel like this person is dishonest, these kind of things, well, then when you get into a crisis, they're not going to be any different. When you get to a crisis, whether it's the coronavirus or whether it's something else like civil rights or women's rights or equal opportunity for people, whatever it is, this person is not going to be trustworthy to help you in these situations. So you got to be careful when you follow people like this. There was a story. There was a situation I was involved. To tell you a quick story. I used to interview people for jobs at a company I once worked, and what's interesting about this this company had a lot of opportunities. So people who had been with the company for a couple of years, they would apply for this job. But what they mistakenly thought when they applied for this job, they thought they could erase their history. Meaning, they've been with the company 2 years. They were jerks. They didn't work well with people, not cooperative, just whatever it was. So they thought all that's erased when they come for this job interview. They dressed real nice. They said the right things, and they thought it erased their history, but it didn't. In this job interview, when you're looking at them, you're not just looking at what's in front of you. You're looking at what was behind them. So we got to remember that with our leaders too. That if a leader is acting a certain way for the last year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever it is, well, then it doesn't erase just because you're in a crisis. One of the things that I respect about leaders is that leaders take responsibility. For example, in my town where I live, the coronavirus is not the fault of these leaders. It's not their fault. But you know what? They're taking responsibility. They're taking ownership. They're trying to figure out, how do we work through this thing? That's what's amazing. Some places I'm watching, leaders are just saying that this is not my fault. You figure it out. And I think that is a big, big mistake. And I think those are the type of leaders, you can't follow that kind of leader. That's not even a leader. They're not even taking responsibility. There's one thing of taking blame, and there's one thing of taking responsibility. Leaders aren't to blame for the coronavirus. But responsibility, we need leaders to take responsibility so we can move forward as a group. That's a leader. Leaders have strong shoulders, Leaders can move us forward. My last point I want to make to you is that we're all in this together. I tell my family, I know we're going through some stuff right now, but you know what? We're in this together. Whatever you're going through, I'm going through. What I'm going through, you're going through. We're in this together. And I'm transparent. We're transparent with each other. I let them know what I'm going through. They let me know what they're going through. And we just kind of go through it together. But it's the same thing in neighborhoods. It's the same thing with companies. It's the same thing, communities, cities, states, towns, whatever, countries, the world. It's the same thing. Right now with this coronavirus, we're all in this together. So that's my final word. So we got to remember what's important. Important that we're there for each other. We're supporting each other. We're trying to be the best leaders that we can for one another. We just got to remember that, so we can help one another. So anyway, that's all I have for you right now. I thank you again for listening, and I'll talk to you all soon.